So today we have a little bit of a different video here. I've been catching up with my comments recently, and I just kind of wanted to address something and kind of give my opinion on designer versus niche fragrances. Because after all, the fragrance community is growing every single day, which is amazing to see. You know, I'm gaining subscribers every day, and I'm very blessed for that, very fortunate of that. So thank you everyone who is either just now subscribing or new to the channel, or you've been around for close to 5 years we've been doing this now. So just wanted to take a minute to thank you guys. But there's new people coming in, and there's videos, new videos popping up all the time from my channel, from a bunch of other channels. And so it's easier now more than ever to kind of get a little bit lost when it comes to starting out and kind of how to go about curating your new fragrance collection, whether you're trying to build up a collection, so to speak, or you even just want to get a couple fragrances, a handful of fragrances to wear every single day. And one of the main things you'll see is people kind of struggling with designer versus niche. You know, if you've got people telling them you should buy niche, you've got people telling them you should buy designer, you have people telling them you should buy indie fragrances or clones or inspired buys or whatever. There's a whole bunch of stuff out there. And so today I kind of want to focus on designer or niche, like which one would be best for you. So let's start off with this point right here. There's going to be people telling you that you shouldn't buy designer fragrances, you shouldn't buy new releases or new flankers because a lot of people wear those fragrances, or, you know, those fragrances are overplayed, they're overhyped. A lot of people talk about those fragrances, or, you know, those flankers are all the same and all that exists now is flankers. And instead, you should pivot your focus on niche fragrances. This whole different world where everything is different. And it is true that more people wear designer fragrances, and it is true that designers are very popular and they do get a lot of talk, but that's because they're from big designer brands. And now if you're someone that's in this hobby because it is a passion of yours and you want to smell different and you want to express yourself in a way that other people aren't, the niche would definitely be kind of the corner that you want to be in. I agree with that part. However, if you're someone who is in this hobby to smell good to the people around you, whether it be your coworkers, your friends, your family members, you want it to be a conversation starter in a positive light of someone saying, "Oh, you smell really good today. What are you wearing?" That's where I kind of have to say that designers are where you should be focusing your attention and your money. And we'll get to the money part in a minute. Now, there are definitely niche fragrances out there that pull compliments, that smell great, that would be great conversation starters. I talk about them time to time on the channel, but the reality is designer fragrances are going to do what you're after a lot better because the price point is much lower, much easier to get into. I have some highly complimented niche fragrances, but guess what? I also have some highly complimented designer fragrances as well that costed about half the price. The fact of the matter is, these days when it comes to niche, it's still expanding, it's still growing. Niche brands are popping up all over the place. And so I don't want you guys to beat yourselves up over it if you're really eyeing this niche product, but it's just not in your budget. But at the same time, all you care about is just smelling good and getting compliments. Don't worry about it. Don't try to beat yourself up over it, you know. These days, there are an influx of freebies and free niche products being sent out to reviewers, influencers, Instagrammers, YouTubers, Facebookers, whatever, right? It's a lot different, you know, compared to designer fragrances. These niche brands are most of the times independent, and so they're more likely to actually send out the product. I've gotten free niche product before, and for me, I've taken a big step back from that. You know, I don't want to be kind of peddling you all of these new niche products that I'm getting for free if I don't 100% believe in them, especially when I know that the majority of my audience is after affordable, compliment-getting designer fragrances. That's what you guys are after. So just to sum this up, if you want compliments, focus your attention on designer fragrances. Old designer fragrances, new flankers, all of that stuff is perfectly fine. There's a reason why these flankers exist. There's a reason why all of these fragrances are bestsellers. And that reason is because they work very well. You know, the general public loves this stuff. A lot of these people are going out and they're buying it at full retail and they're wearing it and they're having great luck with it. And the same thing can happen for you. Even if someone else has smelled that fragrance on someone before, they're still going to compliment you, because chances are they would not be able to know that fragrance by name, and they might not even realize that they've smelled it before right off the bat. It might take them a while, and maybe they'll think it smells familiar, but they're still going to think it smells good. In a similar way, you can look at the designer fragrance thing as like if you wanted to upgrade your style a little bit. You could buy yourself a nice jacket or a nice watch or something, and you're going to look like you're more well put together. You're going to look like your outfit is thought out, and people are going to like that. It doesn't need to be an expensive jacket or an expensive watch. It just needs to be something, and that's kind of what the designer fragrance market appeals to. I want you guys to approach buying niche fragrances like a luxury product, because niche fragrances at the end of the day are a luxury product. I mean, any fragrance that costs $200, $300, $400, almost $500 at retail is a luxury product. Let's be real. So treat that just as if you were going to buy a Rolex or a luxury car or some sort of expensive toy, right? You wouldn't buy that Rolex or that car or whatever to be pleasing to the people around you, or at least you shouldn't, because let's be real, most women out there do not care that your Rolex is handmade and limited and that your car has a hand-built V8 engine, right? They do not care. If they do, it might not be the type of girl you're wanting to hang out with, right? You don't buy that stuff for people around you. You buy that stuff because you have a vested passion and interest in whatever that hobby is. It's to satisfy and please your passion, not anyone else's. You're not going to get more or better compliments by buying an expensive niche fragrance, and you're not going to get more or better compliments by buying a Rolex. You know, for myself, when it comes to covering fragrances here on the channel, when it comes to designers, I purchase them all myself. It's a common misconception, and I see this comment all the time. I got this comment several times on my ACQUA de Joe Eau de Parfum video, that I was paid for that review, that Armani sent me the bottle. That couldn't be further from the truth. Let's be real, and I'll be straight up honest with you guys. These brands, Armani, Dior, Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent, they do not give a crap about me or about any other reviewer as far as I'm aware of. I don't get any products. I've never been in contact with these brands. They do not care what I say about the fragrance, if I cover it, if I don't. And in the grand scheme of things, if that video gets 30,000 views, to them, the amount of sales that will push is negligible. These brands are giant, they are massive, and they don't care at all. So when it comes to me judging a new release or just a new fragrance to my collection, I'm going to judge it relatively harshly because I forked over the money to purchase it, to add it to my collection, to cover it for you guys, right? I paid up for it. And so if it doesn't live up to the expectations that I have set for it, it doesn't smell that great, it does something that I'm not a fan of, I will tell you because I have nothing to lose. I bought it myself, right? So no worries there. When it comes to getting free product from, say, a discounter or something like Fragrance By or Twisted Lily, right? That's a different story because the discounter doesn't care what I say about the fragrance. They just want me to say, hey, I got this from Twisted Lily, FRAGRANCEBUY.CA, whatever. Talk a little bit about their website and so on. After that point, I could say the fragrance is complete trash and you shouldn't buy it. And they're like, oh, cool, thanks for the video. So that's kind of how that works. And even still, in terms of designers, I don't get hardly any freebies. A lot of times when it comes to getting a freebie, it would be niche. Sometimes from Twisted Lily, sometimes from Fragrance By, that sort of thing. And you'll notice that my niche video output, my content output from standalone niche has gone back a lot, and there's a reason for that. It's because I don't want to be kind of riding these waves and pushing out, you know, my thoughts and my opinions on the same fragrances that everyone else is covering all at once. For me, that's not really how I want to run my channel. I want to always stay true to what this channel is about, and that's, for the most part, affordable designers and fragrances that are very appealing to the masses. People who actually watch the channel and watch my top 10 videos know that I do throw in a niche fragrance or two every now and then. A lot of my lists, I'll try to put in at least one if it fits the video, and a lot of those are ones that I have purchased myself also. And so I try to kind of, you know, sprinkle them in for the few of you out there who do have an interest in that. But at the end of the day, for me to be getting these new releases in for free and immediately covering them, it's something that I'm not really interested in anymore. I've gotten a lot of free bottles from Roja Parfums, for example, and I haven't covered a lot of them. You know, they've sent me both versions of Oligarch. They've sent me quite a few other ones as well. The new Apex I actually bought by myself. I didn't purchase that one. But, you know, they've sent me a lot of stuff. I haven't covered a lot of it standalone because I don't want to be that person that's always throwing that stuff out. So just to give you a quick gestalt, and then we'll hop out of here, niche fragrances are going to be for those of you who have a passion, a vested interest and passion in perfumery and expressing yourself in a way that no other fragrance will do. If that's what you want, niche is where you want to be. And again, treat that like a luxury, expensive hobby. Collecting watches, collecting cars. Yes, cars and watches are much more expensive, but the principle's the same, right? Luxury products, luxury handbags for any women out there, whatever the case may be. That's kind of how you need to approach niche perfumery. On the other hand, if you just want to smell good to the people around you, don't beat yourself up over the niche fragrances and all of the glowing reviews on all of the new niche fragrances. Go out there and pick yourself up the new designer fragrance, the new designer release. You can wait till it hits discounters. That's kind of where you're going to want to be at. I mean, again, these designer brands have so much money to put into the creative direction of these fragrances, the marketing, and they're putting out some amazing stuff. I mean, this year, 2022, has been amazing so far for new releases. Gentleman EDP, Reserve Privé, ACQUA de Joe Eau de Parfum, L'Homme Eau de Parfum. It's the year of Eau de Parfums. Some amazing stuff, seriously, has come out of this year so far. So I don't want you to have the mindset of, oh, it's all flankers now, or oh, everything's the same, and you shouldn't buy these new releases because you should buy niche instead, right? It depends on the circumstances for sure. I don't want you guys to be blowing your hard-earned money on niche products that you maybe not even need. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below, designer versus niche. What camp are you in? Are you just in it for the mass appeal and the compliments, just smelling good? Or are you in it for the artistic creativity of perfumery and the quality of ingredients and the naturally sourced ingredients, all of that stuff in the presentation? Let me know where you fall. Or you might fall in the middle. It's kind of where I'm at, in terms of what I wear on a day-to-day basis. A lot of time it is designer fragrances. I do appreciate a good niche fragrance every now and then, but for me, I like to keep it easy. I like to stick with designers. That's what I keep here on the channel. Hopefully this cleared some stuff up. Hopefully this gave you guys some direction. I was not really following any script here. I was just kind of, going off the top of my head. If you want me to do more videos like this, leave a comment down below. I used to do videos like this often, but I got out of it. If you want my insight on other stuff, let me know down below. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.